to what was a very positive process. We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moved down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed great respect.
This is massive news that has the left scrambling and Trump looking better than ever. The market soared by over 1,200 points as his trade pressure led to China lowering tariffs substantially. Meanwhile, the legacy media, in typical fashion, is lying to us about these tariffs, trying to keep us all in fear. Just watch the latest contrived panic from MSNBC.
Donald Trump is backed into a corner. His grand plans of tariffs aren't working, right? You're seeing day in and day out more business leaders, whether it's Warren Buffett or Jamie Dimon or Ken Griffin, on big global stages saying this is going to crush us economically.
The legacy media networks have repeatedly argued that Trump has no idea what he's doing with tariffs and that he was going to crush our economy. But President Trump just dropped a bombshell update on the China trade war. China slashed their tariffs down to 10%. You heard that right, 10%. This is huge. And it's all because of Trump's relentless trade pressure. China lowering their tariffs to 10% is a massive win for America. For years, they've been hitting us with high tariffs, ripping off American businesses, and flooding our markets with cheap goods, all the while protecting their own. Trump saw through that nonsense from day one. He knew we were getting played, and he wasn't going to let it slide. It appears now that his strategy was to hit them hard with tariffs, make them feel the pain, and force them to come to the table. And it's working. China's now waving the white flag, cutting their tariffs to a measly 10%. Now, when Trump took office, he made it clear he wasn't going to let China keep taking advantage of us. Their trade practices were a disaster, stealing our intellectual property, manipulating their currency, slapping huge tariffs on our goods, all the while we let their stuff flow in with barely a slap on the wrist. The left and the mainstream media insisted we couldn't win this. We couldn't fight China because they're too big and it would tank our economy. Well, Trump didn't listen. He slapped tariffs on Chinese goods, targeted their industries, and kept the pressure on. The media screamed, the Democrats panicked, but Trump stayed the course. And now, China is the one backing down. This tariff cut is a direct result of Trump's policies. China's economy has been feeling the heat. Their exports are down. Their growth is slowing. And they're starting to realize they can't outlast America when we've got a leader like Trump at the helm. By dropping their tariffs to 10%, they're admitting they cannot keep up. This is a surrender, plain and simple. And it's not just a win for Trump. It's a win for American workers. It's a win for American businesses. It's a win for American consumers. The Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ, they're all surging on this news. Investors know what this all means. Cheaper American goods going into the mass market of China. More exports, more jobs, and a stronger economy. This is what happens when you put America first. The stock market's roaring because Trump's trade war is paying off. The same people who said his tariffs would crash the economy are now eating their words. I bet you won't hear that on CNN tonight. The left wants you to believe tariffs are evil. They want you to stay confused. They want you to stay afraid, not capitalizing on this moment in the economy. This 10% tariff rate concession from China, it's proof that the long game works. American consumers are going to see more competition, better prices, and stronger industries because of this. So what's next? Well, Trump has already hinted he's not done yet. He's talking about pushing for even more concessions from China, fairer trade practices, cracking down on their IP theft, and opening their markets even wider. This 10% tariff cut is just the beginning. China's on the ropes, and Trump's not letting up. He's going to keep fighting until we've got a very fair trade deal that puts America first. Lower Chinese tariffs mean our farmers, our manufacturers, our small businesses, they're all going to have an easier time selling to one of the biggest markets in the world. That's more jobs, higher wages, and a stronger economy for all of us. This is why we voted for Trump. He promised to stand up to China, and he's delivering in spades. The media and the left are spreading needless panic and even still trying to convince us that we need to be afraid and that the economy is in terrible state. But it's becoming absolutely crystal clear that this is all a total fabrication. Joining me today to discuss the developments in the trade war and economy is Mark Wilburn, a market expert who has an incredible record of predicting the markets. Actually, the last time we had Mark on, he accurately forecasted Tesla, that's now up nearly 30%, a nuclear stock, Centrus Energy, now soaring over 45%, and Bitcoin up another 23%, all in just the past month. And he gave these picks away for free on our last free training, our last webinar. And because so many of you saw major gains, Mark's agreed to host another one. Mark has the insights to help you cut through the media noise and navigate these market shifts, whether you're brand new or ready to level up. So don't miss the free webinar event coming up Thursday, May 22nd, and again on Saturday, May 24th. That's Thursday, May 22nd, and Saturday, May 24th. Mark, welcome back, dude. You should be taking a little victory lap here over those 3 great calls.
Hey, it's always nice when they work out the way we wanted to, but really, I mean, it's really because of what we're seeing Trump do right now.
Yeah. I mean, let's dive into that a little bit, Mark, because you've been tracking this trade war very closely. You and I were talking. I mean, you came out so in favor of these tariffs right away when the whole media was flipping out. We had you on, I think, that week, and you were like, dude, these tariffs are gold. You gotta love these. Can you break down what's really happening, like behind the scenes here with Trump's tariffs and how his trade policy how it's impacted Americans thus far, and how is this different from the picture that like CNN is painting right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Like, what we're seeing is confirmation of what we said, right? You said I've been a proponent of these for a long time. It's because the strategy isn't reckless. It's very strategic. And so the media's been on this campaign to convince everybody this is going to have a recession and it's going to crush everyone with rising inflation and isolate America globally. But the numbers we've seen just the last few days shows the complete opposite. Like, behind the scenes, Trump is playing a long game. He's used these tariffs not as that blunt instrument that Schumer was talking about, but a very strategic surgeon's scalpel. It's targeted, it's precise, and it's designed to get what we need, which is America to win. He's exposed how dependent China is on American markets. When he imposed these tariffs, it was never to hurt the American people. It was to shift a balance of power because China was taking advantage of a weak Joe Biden. And his strategy has worked. It showed that he is the powerful leader. Daddy is home. And so China cut these tariffs 10%, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. Yeah, their exports hurt. Trump forced them to the table. It's a strategic victory for the U.S. And by the way, like, do you remember what Biden's tariff income was during his 4 years? Do you know that average by chance?
Biden's tariff income? I think it was like 7 billion or something a month?
Like right around 7.1, 7.2 billion, right? Trump brought in 16 billion in April. It was 86% higher than March and double what Sleepy Joe did on his best day. So the revenue here hitting a record high shows that when the critics said it doesn't work, these numbers prove it does.
And, didn't we just have, like, I read the second largest government surplus like ever with the cuts Doge has been making and the tax revenue and the like?
So April's always a good revenue month for us, but because of all the tariff revenue, it was the second largest surplus. We don't ever say government and surplus in the same sentence, ever, right? And so these numbers came out. All of that actually gave us the lowest inflation since February of 2021. So that narrative is completely flipped. It's opening the door for stronger domestic production, more investment in manufacturing, and for everyone paying attention, serious opportunity in the stock market. But you turn the news on, you think we're going to disaster. And so we kind of have the saying in the market, trade the trend, not against it. I think we may amend that to trade with Trump, not against him.
I love it. So what's your opinion on the media's the effect of the media's fear mongering about tariffs? Is it causing skepticism and confusion? Is this preventing people? I mean, do they want to prevent people from surging and financially flourishing? Is this preventing people from making sound investment and financial decisions right now?
That's the biggest issue I'm hearing. The mainstream media, they're not just like being misinformed, they're deliberately misleading people. We saw it during COVID, we're seeing it again. They're suppressing good news that doesn't fit the narrative Trump is bad orange man. And so the fear mongering is dangerous. When people hear the sky is falling on me, they freeze, they sit on the sidelines, they miss the real opportunity because they're paralyzed by fear. The mainstream media doesn't want you to participate. They don't want me to participate. They don't want us to win. In fact, I was speaking to a lady the other day. People approach me because they see what we do. She says, Mark, normally I'm this logical investor, but investing seems so illogical from what I'm hearing on the news. So I told her, stop listening to the news.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they want. They want the chaos. They want the doubt. They want the confusion and the hesitation.
It's beyond absurd. I'm looking for the date here. What was the date for the upcoming free training that you have here, Mark? I just want everyone to make sure they know that.
May 22nd.
22nd. I had 20 for some reason. 22nd, May 22nd and 24th as well. Correct. Totally free. Gang. What you're hearing here. I mean, Mark does not want you to fail like CNN does. He wants you to succeed and flourish. So make sure you click on that link below because he's going to show you how to do that. I got to be honest, it's like we're living in a tale of two cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, right? And so the media would have us believe this kind of nonsense that we're living in the worst of times right now.
Right. And if you look on the one hand, you see the market responding positively. We're back to break even on the year. The NASDAQ's higher. Stocks are moving. Inflation is lowering. We're seeing growth in key sectors that shows the economy could continue to grow and explode higher. On the other hand, the media is like, Trump's doom and gloom. Don't look at the market. Look over here. Right. Trump's bad. Focus on us, because they love to create fog. The fog creates confusion and people don't know who to trust or what to believe or who to listen to, which is why I love you, because you cut through that fog for people. But the left and the elites, they want that. They want people confused because they're easier to control. They don't take action. They don't invest. They don't participate, and they won't benefit financially, and they'll miss this opportunity. And our goal is to have you take advantage of it, because the truth is volatility is not the enemy. Confusion is. Volatility creates opportunity if you know how to read the signs. Do you remember last time I was here? I told you guys, it's not the time to panic. It's time to position.
Right. Yeah.
That's what so many people did on our webinar. We told you, position yourself in Tesla, and we're looking for this to move higher. You were there. Right?
I remember like yesterday, you said you were watching it at just around the 200s, 217 or so. And again at 250. Yeah. And you're watching it, expecting to move up over 300, 320, something akin to that.
Yeah. And we hit 345 this week.
Wow.
So for everyone who was on that, they made great returns.
Yeah.
And my advice to you would be this: don't listen to what the media says.
Yeah.
Watch the markets and listen to what the president is saying. The strength that we're seeing, it is intentional. It is a direct result of his plan that's working.
What was that, a 30% gain or so?
A little over 30%. We've had people making 70+% because they're trading options on it.
That's when you get fancy.
That's fancy. That's fancy trading.
Fancy stuff. Well, that's the stuff you teach again. So click on the link below and sign up for the free webinar. You'll love it, gang. Now, so with China's tariffs dropping, markets rallying, what opportunities does this create? Okay, we've turned off CNN. Okay, we've taken your advice. So now what opportunities does this create for American investors and businesses? How can everyday people just capitalize on this moment to secure their financial future?
Well, it is this rare moment of opportunity because we don't always get the market dropping like it has. And so let's zoom out for a minute. We'll talk big picture on China. With them dropping tariffs, we will see a demand for more American made goods and exports, agriculture, manufacturing, and technology. This means more exports, more growth, more profits coming back into American businesses. When that happens, those stocks rise. So investing in those sectors or watching those sectors is really beneficial. And the smart money's already there. Here's what most people miss. These shifts aren't just for hedge funds. They're not just for the big institutions. They're for everyday people. And they can capitalize on if you know what to look for, just like Tesla, right? On the webinar, we're going to show you exactly what sectors to look at, the stocks that we like in those sectors, what we're tracking that will directly benefit. In fact, you mentioned Centrus Energy earlier, the nuclear company.
Nuclear, yeah,
We got
yeah.
into it was up over 40% in a month. And so there's a couple of those sectors that we want to highlight for everybody because the good news is it's just happening. It sounds like it's already happened. It's too late. It's actually just now happening and you can take advantage of it, but don't drag your feet because we're like 40% moves in a month is wild.
Yeah.
So we're seeing these huge moves in a short period of time that you can still get for yourself.
Dang. Yeah. Like we're like literally at the beginning of a massive rising tide, as it were. All right. You have taught us well about tariffs, and we now know Trump said, "I'm not done yet. We're going to keep going. This is just the tip of the spear, as it were, tip of the sword." What steps should investors take now to prepare for the next phase of this trade war?
I like that you use the word phase there because, like you mentioned, Trump said it's not done. We're in that 90-day pause window.
Yes.
Right? There's the 90-day concession window. And so we've got more concessions on the table from a lot of other countries too.
Yeah. No, I saw where he said, I mean, they can make hundreds of deals because he holds the keys to the shop. Everyone wants in. He was just saying that in the Middle East. Literally hundreds and hundreds of deals are well, some of them are in the final phases right now of security and so forth. Yeah.
When that happens, if you think about like these are deals internationally, it could mean more global shakeups, right? That's kind of the norm. It will create volatility, but that volatility will create opportunity if you're prepared. Right. So this next phase, again, I can't reiterate this enough. It's not about panic. It's about preparation. It's not about panic.
Positioning, right? Yeah.
It's about positioning.
Yeah.
You don't need to chase hype, but you do need a plan, which is exactly why we're hosting that webinar. I like to tell people opportunity without strategy, that's gambling. And so on the webinar, we give you the strategy, how to read the markets, how to identify the entry points, where to get in, where to get out, where your upside targets are. And so again, if you're watching this and you felt like you've missed before, don't miss this one. Don't miss this opportunity because
love it.
If you're paying attention and you're willing to take action, you can profit.
Yeah, I love that because I guarantee you there's a lot of people watching now go, yeah, but I always miss out. I try to, this is your opportunity. You're not going to miss out on this one. And you got a mentor. It's not about how, it's about who can show you how to do this. It's awesome, Mark. I love chatting with you every time about this. Remember, gang, if you want to find out how to prosper during intentionally volatile times, you do not want to miss this upcoming free training. Follow the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen. And Mark, I think you said you mentioned there was going to be a bonus gift for those who register.
Yes. If you register for the event, you don't even have to attend, but if you register for the event, what we want to do is enroll you in our latest educational video series. It's absolutely free. You get 2 emails a week with 5-minute videos where it will help you grow your financial and investing IQ. So, I mean, it's our free gift to you for what you've created here, Dr. Steve, with all these patriots. You're the one cutting through that fog, and I so appreciate your voice in these turbulent times.
We'll right back at you. Our audience loves you, and they love your free training. So again, gang, sign up right now. Like Mark just said, all you have to do is sign up. You don't have to be there, and you're going to get all this wonderful free stuff. It's Thursday, May 22nd. or again, an encore presentation, free training online. Enjoy it from the comfort of your own couch. Saturday, May 24th. So Thursday, May 22nd, Saturday, May 24th. Just click the link below or scan the QR code. Register today. You will not be disappointed. I know I'm going to make the May 22nd one, so we'll have a little chat and fellowship there right before you do your magic. So, gang, make sure you come on out on the 22nd and the 24th, and Mark is going to blow your mind. Thanks so much, Mark. Again, you are the one who I think cuts through so much of the confusion with clarity and so much of the darkness with light. It's very appreciated. Let's have you back soon.
My pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Steve.